Imagine you wake up every morning, work tirelessly, try to save, budget, and manage your expenses. But by the end of the year, you realize a significant chunk of your money has vanished, without any clear explanation. You didn't splurge, you didn't make huge purchases, yet your bank account feels lighter. What if the reason is right under your nose? What if your bank is quietly taking money from you through hidden fees and charges you barely notice? This isn't tier theory or conspiracy. It's a reality millions of Americans face every day. Why you should care? These hidden fees aren't just annoying. They affect your ability to save, invest, or even pay basic bills. They increase your cost of living without you realizing it. This system impacts the financial freedom you deserve. In this video, we will reveal what these hidden fees are, how they accumulate and silently drain your money. Real stories of people trapped in this system, why banks rely on these fees to make billions, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. What are hidden bank fees? Banks are businesses, and like any business, they have many ways to make money. Some obvious, some not. Beyond interest and loans, they rely heavily on various fees that most customers don't fully understand. Common types of hidden fees. Overdraft fees. Imagine you spend $10 more than what's in your checking account. The bank lets the transaction go through but charges you a fee, often $35. It's 350% fee on $10, and if you're unlucky to do this a few times a month, the fees add up fast. ATM fees. Using an out-of-network ATM, expect to pay $2 to $3 per transaction, withdraw cash multiple times a month, and this can total hundreds of dollars annually. Monthly maintenance fees. Some accounts have monthly fees, sometimes hidden behind fine print. These fees apply regardless of whether you use the account actively or not. Paper statement fees. Banks sometimes charge for mailing paper statements, pushing you towards electronic versions. But if you want paper, it costs extra. Foreign transaction fees. Making purchases abroad or online with international merchants. Expect around 3% fees on each transaction. Minimum balance fees. Fail to maintain a minimum balance, and you'll get penalized every month, regardless of your income level. Returned payment fees. Miss a payment or your check bounces. The bank charges you again, adding insult to injury. Why these fees matter so much on the surface, each fee seems small and insignificant. But millions of Americans pay multiple fees every month. Over a year, these add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars lost. Money that could have gone towards groceries, rent, or savings. Hidden fees also disproportionately hurt lower-income individuals who live paycheck to paycheck. For them, a $35 overdraft fee might mean the difference between paying rent or not. Real numbers behind the fees. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, in 2023 alone, Americans paid $33 billion in overdraft fees. Average overdraft fee was around $35. Nearly 12% of checking accounts overdrew at least once in the past year. This means banks are earning billions yearly from fees alone, often without customers fully realizing the cost. How banks keep you in the dark. Banks don't want you to notice or fully understand these fees. They use complex statements with confusing jargon, automatic fee charging without alerts, hidden fine print buried in terms and conditions, lack of transparency in how fees are calculated. All this creates a system where you are less likely to question fees until it's too late. The human impact. Stories you should know. Let's talk about Sarah, a single mother in Ohio. She manages a tight budget and tries to keep her checking account balanced. But last year, Sarah got hit with 6 overdraft fees totaling over $200. That money was meant for her children's school supplies and utilities. Or consider James, a retail worker in Texas, who frequently uses out-of-network ATMs because the nearest in-network machine is miles away. His ATM fees alone add up to more than $150 every year, money he could have saved for emergencies. Why this system exists. Banks use these fees to compensate for low interest rates and to boost profits. In recent years, regulations have limited some fees, but banks continue to find ways to monetize customer accounts heavily. From a business perspective, these fees create a steady revenue stream, and unfortunately, many customers unknowingly pay the price. How to spot these fees. Review your monthly bank statements carefully. Use banking apps that track fees and alert you. Ask your bank about account fees before opening. Beware of accounts that promise no fees but have hidden costs. While statistics and numbers reveal the scale of hidden fees, the true impact is best understood through the experiences of real people, everyday Americans caught in this financial web. Sarah's story. Ohio. Sarah is a single mother working 2 jobs to support her 2 children. She keeps a close eye on her budget, but even with careful planning, she found herself repeatedly overdrawing her account. Each overdraft meant a $35 penalty, and over the course of a year, these fees totaled more than $200. This was money she desperately needed for rent and groceries. Despite complaining to her bank, the fees continued. Sarah felt powerless and trapped. She told friends, "It's like the bank is charging me for trying to survive." James's story, Texas. James works retail in a small town with limited banking options. The nearest in-network ATM is over 10 miles away. Forced to use out-of-network machines, he incurs ATM fees of $3 per withdrawal. He typically withdraws cash 5 times a month, costing him roughly $150 a year just to access his own money. James has tried to switch banks, but found that many accounts come with hidden fees or minimum balance requirements. For him, banking feels more like a financial trap than a service. Maria's story. California. Maria, a college student, wanted to avoid fees by opting for an online-only bank account. However, she was surprised to find that certain electronic transfers took days and occasionally incurred fees for expedited processing. She felt confused and frustrated by the unexpected charges that interfered with her tight budget. Why banks depend on these fees. Understanding why banks charge these fees is key to understanding the broader financial system. Banks make money primarily from interest on loans and mortgages, service fees, hidden and explicit, investment income. When interest rates are low, revenue from loans declines. Banks compensate for this by increasing fees on consumer accounts. The financial incentive banks collect billions annually from fees like overdraft and ATM charges. This revenue stream is predictable and stable, making it a cornerstone of bank profits. According to the American Bankers Association, overdraft fees alone generate an estimated $15 billion annually across U.S. banks. The system's design, how fees control consumers. Beyond simple revenue, fees serve a control function within the financial system. By imposing penalties for overdrafts or missed minimum balances, banks incentivize behavior that maximizes their profits. This system disproportionately affects those with fewer financial resources, who are more likely to overdraft or fall below minimum balances, trapping them in a cycle of fees and debt. Complex statements and hidden terms. Bank statements and fee disclosures are often dense, legalistic, and difficult to understand. The average consumer may find it challenging to decipher why they were charged. Banks use jargon such as insufficient funds, returned item, non-sufficient funds fee. These terms mask the actual cost and discourage customers from questioning charges. How banks benefit from consumer confusion. Confused consumers are less likely to dispute fees or switch accounts. This inertia benefits banks, allowing fees to accumulate unnoticed. Regulatory environment and its limits. While some regulations have sought to limit fees, banks have adapted by creating new charges or raising others. For example, the Durbin Amendment limited debit card swipe fees, pushing banks to increase other fees. Some banks removed free checking accounts, replacing them with free unless you don't meet minimum criteria accounts. The bigger picture. Banks and economic inequality. Hidden fees widen the financial gap. Those with wealth and multiple accounts can avoid or absorb fees. Those with limited funds cannot. This dynamic perpetuates economic inequality in the U.S., making financial freedom elusive for many. The digital era and new challenges. With the rise of digital banking apps and fintech, new fee models have emerged. Some apps offer free services, but monetize user data or charge subscription fees for premium features. Understanding the true cost requires vigilance. How to protect yourself from hidden bank fees. Now that we understand the problem, it's time to take control of your money and avoid paying unnecessary fees. The good news? There are clear, practical steps you can take right now. 1. Choose the right bank account. Not all bank accounts are created equal. Look for accounts that have no monthly maintenance fees, don't charge minimum balance fees, offer free in-network ATM access, provide alerts for low balances and overdrafts. Online banks and credit unions often provide better terms than traditional big banks. 2. Monitor your account regularly. Use mobile apps or online banking to keep track of your balance and transactions daily. This helps avoid overdrafts and surprise fees. Set up low balance alerts, transaction notifications, automatic transfers to cover minimum balances. 3. Avoid overdraft fees. Overdraft fees are the biggest culprit. To minimize, link your checking account to a savings account for overdraft protection. Opt out of overdraft services, so transactions that would overdraft your account get declined instead of processed with a fee. Use budgeting apps that predict your spending and alert you before you overdraw. 4. Use in-network ATMs or cashback options. Plan your cash withdrawals to use your bank's own ATMs. Many retailers offer cashback with purchases, which is often free. 5. Read the fine print. Before opening a new account, read the terms and conditions carefully. Look for hidden fees in monthly service fees, ATM usage paper statements, foreign transactions. Ask customer service questions to clarify unclear points. 6. Take advantage of fee waivers. Some banks waive fees if you meet certain conditions. Maintain a minimum balance, set up direct deposit, use your debit card a certain number of times per month. Understand these criteria and plan accordingly. 7. Use credit unions and online banks. Credit unions often have lower fees and better customer service. Online banks usually have lower overhead and pass savings to customers. Examples include Ally Bank, Chime, Varo Bank, local credit unions. 8. Protect yourself from paper statement fees. Opt for electronic statements to avoid extra charges. Set reminders to download and save monthly statements. 9. Beware of foreign transaction fees. If you travel or shop internationally, look for cards that don't charge foreign transaction fees. Tools and apps to help. There are apps that track your spending, predict overdrafts, and alert you before fees happen. Some popular options: Mint, budgeting and alerts, Truebill, subscription and fee monitoring, Chime, no overdraft fees and early direct deposit, Albert, savings and budgeting advice, AMB. How to dispute fees. If you spot an unfair fee, contact your bank's customer service immediately. Explain the situation calmly and request a fee reversal. Keep records of communications. If unresolved, escalate to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. How changing banks can save you. Money-switching banks can be intimidating, but the right bank can save you hundreds annually. Look for banks with transparent fee structures, good mobile apps, and responsive support. Financial literacy is key. Understanding how banks operate empowers you to make smarter choices. Take time to learn about your account features and fees. Final thoughts. Taking control of your financial future. Hidden bank fees are a real problem, but with knowledge and action, you can protect your money and build financial freedom. Remember, don't accept fees silently. Use tools and apps to stay informed. Choose accounts wisely. Speak up and dispute unfair charges. Call to action. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with friends and family. Comment below. Have you ever been surprised by a bank fee? How did you handle it? Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll dive into how digital apps and AI are shaping your financial future in ways you might not expect.